When it comes to packaging, do you guys remember Snapcase DVDs? I love Snapcase DVDs. I think they look amazing. I think so. And I still have a bunch in the collection because I still have a crap ton of DVDs. But even some that as I'm upgrading and getting rid of, there's a few I'm keeping. And as I was kind of going through it, I was like, the more you appreciate packaging, the more you realize some of this old school style packaging that we just don't get anymore. Because this never came to Blu-ray, Snapcase. So what is a Snapcase? If you don't know, a Snapcase, it's a square, it's a rectangle, perfectly, rectangle, no round edges like a DVD or Blu-ray. And it just snaps, opens, and it's more of like a card stock things. These things can be in good conditions. These things can get messed up, because it's exposed paper. It's not like the little sleeves in here. But this was mostly, and I just found this out too, which I found really interesting because I'm getting ready for another specific DVD packaging style video. But as I was prepping that, I was looking and I'm like, these are all Warner Brothers. This was like really an exclusive Warner Brothers thing with these snap cases. And they only lasted, I think up until 2004. Or maybe 97. Maybe 97 was the last year. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I forgot what it was. I looked it up on Wikipedia. But these had a pretty short run. And some of these, even though I've upgraded this to Blu-ray and now to 4K, but I'm still going to keep this snap case. There's a few I'm going to keep for sentimental reasons, for just historic reasons for the packaging, and this is one of them. So I want to go through kind of like my whole Snapcase collection. Movies I own, movies I'm getting rid of, but I just have them and I haven't gotten rid of them, like traded them in yet or anything. But this first one, The Exorcist, this is the one that I'm definitely never getting rid of. That's staying in. The Last Boy Scout. My favorite, probably not my favorite, but probably top 3 Tony Scott movie for me. And one thing I do love, just get into the next one, most of these will be 90s movies, just FYI. Demolition Man, next on the list. But one thing I wanted to show you guys, the way these things are, the way they're manufactured is, when you put them together, they're supposed to be perfectly level, and they kind of snap together too. There's a little indent right here that these have to where they can just, be completely uniform, which I think is really thoughtful and innovative that a lot of things don't. We have different, every box set and everything is different heights, different things. These are kind of all the same. And when they fit together, they fit together, which I really love and appreciate. I do, and I've said this before, and I will say, I wish there was a Snapcase version for Blu-rays. I do. I mean, I know a lot of people don't really care for this packaging, but I think they're kind of cool. But yeah, Demolition Man. I'm so stoked for the 4K box set to come out from Arrow. Just in a few weeks. I'm so stoked. So stoked for that. What do we got? Oh, I just upgraded these, and I will have a whole video about these coming up very soon. But the Poison Ivy trilogy. Now, there is 4 films. Now, I just upgraded from Shout, from the Shout Factory sale. I got the Blu-rays, which is 4 films, but I never got the 4th film on it. But the 4th film came out much later, and is not in a snap case. But I got these, which, again, you put them together, perfectly line up. I love them. They're not lined up right now, but these came with both the unrated and rated versions too, which is really dope. But yeah, I will have a video coming out real soon talking more in depth about these. What else we got? 2001: A Space Odyssey. I'm sorry, this artwork, get out of here. This artwork is 100 times better to me personally than the one out there now for the 4K with just the red. It's cool, but this is this is the original poster, these old school posters, and I absolutely love the design of the frame inside of it with I love that aesthetic so much. And this is another one I will never give up. It's in really good condition too. Like no stains or anything. And I love how it says Stanley Kubrick Collection on it. This is never going anywhere. The Crush, another one just upgraded with the Shout sale. Again, we'll be talking about this in an upcoming video. The Lost Boys. This is another one I'm probably going to keep because I just love this original artwork for it. I have upgraded to Blu-ray. I haven't got the 4K yet. I probably will soon. I know it's on sale, or it was on sale for Black Friday. Didn't get it. I'll wait. This is not going anywhere, this 4K. I've heard it's an amazing 4K, but I love the traditional artwork. Like, one thing about these Snapcases is the original posters that you don't really get anymore. Money Talks. Fantastic movie. This is New Line Cinema. New Line is Warner Brothers, so there are probably a lot of New Line in here, but all these Warner Brothers. Money Talks. Excalibur. I do not like this movie. I'm sorry, I do not like this movie. I love fantasy, one of my favorite genres. I'd rather watch Kroll than watch this, and I know that's blasphemy and all this stuff. This movie's boring as shit to me, and I've tried to like it. I've hate watched this to try to like this, and I just can't get into it. I'm sorry. This is going in the bin to sell away. Last Man Standing. You know how I got the name for this channel? It's from this movie, to be honest. Last Man Standing, Last Movie Standing. It's where I got the name for it from. This does have a Blu-ray from Shout, which I have not got. I need to upgrade this. I actually do have it. I have the combo pack with Last Boy Scout and Last Man Standing in the same Blu-ray, so I have the Blu-ray, but I don't like that pack. This one is a little bit kind of tore up. It's kind of aged. You know, I probably bought it that way. Heat. I love how Val Kilmer's name was like right in the middle, right there, instead of like up at the top with the rest. You don't really see that, like the name just in the middle of the box, which is kind of weird. But Heat, Michael Mann film. I do have the Blu-ray of this. I've heard bad things about the 4K, so I haven't really got it, but it's not my favorite movie. It's not like, you know, I'm happy with the Blu-ray. Ocean's 11. Iconic. This is the full screen version. That's how old this one is. I've thought about getting all three of the original. Ooh, did that just fall out? Oh, okay. No. For some reason, I have two copies in here. One is widescreen and one is full screen. A friend gave me the widescreen version, but he just gave me the disc, so I put it in here. So I have both on here. I forgot about that. Gossip. Just talked about this, and I just got this. We'll be talking about this really soon. Have not watched it yet. I'm going to watch it next week, and we're going to really get into that. Another one. Like, these are two DVDs I just bought recently. Like, I think last month. Final Analysis and Gossip. Never seen these movies. One is from I think they're both from 2000. And they came in snap cases, which is kind of dope. I really love this artwork with the lips and just how they are. Love it. 3,000 Miles to Graceland. A very underrated, like criminally underrated, Kurt Russell, Kevin Costner movie. This movie is so good. Courtney Cox. Looks gorgeous in this. But it's basically a movie about a bunch of Elvis impersonators robbing Las Vegas, essentially. Or they go to robbing as Elvis impersonators, and like, you don't mess with Kevin Costner in this. Like, he is like the Elvis fan. Like, you think, what's his name? From True Romance, Christian Slater was an Elvis fan. Kevin Costner would fuck him up. Barry Lyndon. I know. I thought about just getting all the Stanley Kubricks like this and just having the collection of that. This one's a little stained. I don't know if it really shows up. It's a little stained on the edges, but I haven't got this upgraded yet because Criterion does, I think, have a 4K Blu-ray scan on their Blu-ray, but this is scheduled as of the rumors right now to come out in 2020 into 2025, like December 2025 or maybe even January 2026. But it's scheduled to come out. It's coming on 4K, so I'm just gonna wait and upgrade this. But this is a very slow, long, and beautifully boring movie. I actually like it way more than I should. And it's not a movie I recommend to everybody, but it's kind of, the story behind it's really good too. Like he was supposed to make Stanley Kubrick was supposed to make his Napoleon movie, and he spent years in production, in pre-production for it, and then when it came to shoot right before, there was a movie that came out called Waterloo. This is in the 70s. And that movie bombed. That movie bombed hard. So the studio was like, yeah, we're not making another Napoleon movie. That movie sucked. So you're not, no. So Stanley Kubrick basically had all these costumes, these locations. He had everything ready. But the studio was not going to make the movie he had spent years planning to make. So instead, he just made Barry Lyndon, which is a movie he probably never would have made. And it just looks absolutely beautiful. The Bachelor, I think this was 1999. This movie, it's funny and it's charming. It really is, but I mean, it's definitely one of those that goes under the radar. I think really great meet cute scene, but it cracks me up at the very end when he's running from the hundreds of women dressed as brides running down San Francisco for him, like that shot right there. When you see it like on film, it's hilarious that they actually did that. Conspiracy theory. I need to upgrade this. This is a Richard Donner movie. Probably one of his least known ones, because when people think of Richard Donner, I mean, they go straight to Lethal Weapon, they go straight to Superman. A few. I think he did The Omen too, but Conspiracy Theory, Mel Gibson, Julia Roberts, it's good. It's up there. I need to upgrade that. Chasing Liberty. This is one I just discovered this year. I kind of went on a Mandy Moore kick, and wow, did I love this movie. Like, I really did. And it's only available on DVD. This is Warner Brother. Oh, this is all Warner Brother. I keep saying that. So I hope we get a Blu-ray, like a Warner Archive Blu-ray, maybe. I would love to see this in like a much cleaner presentation. But I mean, the Blu-ray, I mean, the DVD looks fine. There's nothing wrong with the DVD. Disclosure, one of my absolute favorites. We'll be talking about this again soon. Like, if you haven't got the hint, there's an erotic thriller 90s video like on the way. So that's why I keep saying these specific movies, they're coming soon. But her line, and Demi Moore's line, when she's like going down on him and he backs up and she's pissed. Oh boy. The Devil's Advocate. Why is this not on 4K yet? I've not upgraded this because I know as soon as I do, the 4K is going to come. So I'm just going to wait for the 4K because this movie is, to me, the best Al Pacino movie there is. His performance in it, like if you really watch, like his subtlety in it is so good. Like when he talks, because he's playing the devil. And he does this like slithering thing with his tongue when he talks. He's always like sticking his tongue out, just like slithering it like a snake. It is so subtle and you don't notice it. But rewatch it and look at his mouth when he talks. Fucking genius. Who is this directed by? I don't know. Somebody I've never heard of. Deep Blue Sea, iconic. Another one. Have not upgraded because I know as soon as I do, the 4K is going to come. I'm trying to avoid more the curse. But this is an all-time great. This is an all-time great. Dave is another one. It's on Blu-ray. This one I'll be upgrading soon because I love this movie. This is an Ivan Reitman movie. And again, another very underestimated, underappreciated Ivan Reitman movie. Ghostbusters, Kindergarten Cop. Like his resume is just Dave, absolutely amazing. This is another one I will never give this up, and this is a clean one. If I get a Snapcase and they're pristine, you look at it, you're like, yeah, this looks brand new. But I mean, it does have a dent in it actually. But Doc Hollywood. Doc Hollywood is my favorite Michael J. Fox movie. I know a lot of people go straight to Back to the Future. Back to the Future's top 3, but Doc Hollywood, my absolute favorite. This is a very feel good movie to me. Very feel good, and there's nudity in it, which you would never guess. Probably why it's rated R. Is this rated R? It's PG-13 with nudity in it. It's like half a scene. When did this come out? 91. Yeah, that was still okay. That was still allowed. Dangerous Liaisons. Now, I talked about this in another video. This is Cruel Intentions. Like the original Cruel Intentions. Great movie. I need to upgrade this to Blu-ray. This does have a Blu-ray. I just haven't got it yet. Absolutely fantastic. Femme Fatale. This is a Brian De Palma movie that I think just got a Blu-ray from Shout Factory like 2 years ago. I haven't upgraded. I need to. Not when it comes to Brian De Palma, he's one of my favorite directors that I respect as a filmmaker and a stylist of how he makes movies. But I don't really like the stories of his movies. They're kind of boring. They're not very good. But the style and how he shoots them is just so good, and it's such his own thing. And the opening scene to this, where they're at the Cannes Film Festival, and the whole jewelry robbery thing with just the music, Rebecca Romaine looks absolutely amazing in this movie. If you're a Brian De Palma fan, you haven't seen Femme Fatale, very high recommend on that. The story's kind of shit, but it looks visually, just the way it's shot is absolutely amazing. Fair Game. This is the one from 90. God, there's so many. 95. There's so many Fair Game. My movie's called Fair Game. Alec Baldwin, Cindy Crawford. Cindy Crawford looks absolutely amazing in this, but there's one actress in here that probably the most beautiful she's ever looked, and she's only in 5 minutes of the movie. Selma Hayek is in the beginning of this movie, and she looks so good, you guys. Oh my God. I was like, you almost wish she was in the movie the whole time, like instead of Cindy Crawford. Executive Decision. This is not my favorite Kurt Russell movie, but I feel it's very underrated. Like, who's in it? Halle Berry's in it, John Leguizamo, Oliver Platt. You know, it's kind of like Air Force One, but a little different. You know, high recommend. It's been a minute since I've seen it, so I can't really like talk about the movie. But I just remember that scene when they're like, terrorists take over a plane, essentially, and they have to, you know, yeah, tongue twister. Eraser, probably one of my top 3 favorite Schwarzenegger movies, one that just goes completely under the radar when people, it's like during that time period, this is when 96, when he was making some movies that were hit and miss. This is like, when I think of James Caan, I think of this movie. Vanessa Williams in anything just looks absolutely gorgeous. But Eraser, like sci-fi, but very grounded at the same time with the laser guns and everything, with the pulse guns. Oh man, I quote this movie so much. With the Italians. Oh, it's fun. You sons of bitches. Love that scene. What a Girl Wants, only available on DVD. This one needs a Blu-ray. I just upgraded this like this year from DVD to DVD because I only had the full screen version. So upgraded to widescreen. That's an upgrade. That is an upgrade. A Walk to Remember. This does have a Blu-ray from Shout, but Shouts, they're always so expensive. Even on the sale for Black Friday, it's still like $22, so haven't grabbed it yet. Will this come to 4K? Maybe one of these days. I'm surprised Warner Archives hasn't done this, but Shout Select has it. The Whole 9 and The Whole 10 Yards. Now I know The Whole 9 Yards has a Blu-ray, but The Whole 10 doesn't. And I think that's one of the reasons I haven't upgraded, just because I don't watch these enough. You know, the whole 10 yard, I mean, the whole 9 yards is really good. Actually, I may have to upgrade. But I like that, you know, they're both snap cases. They line up perfectly. And having like the I'm gonna get the Blu-ray, but I'm hoping, honestly, I want a double pack. Like, just release a double pack, like Grumpy Old Men or Miss Congeniality. Miss Congeniality's getting a 4K this year, but we can't get the whole 9 yards. Come on. U.S. Marshals. This movie, I don't know if I want to say I like it more than The Fugitive. I think it's more fun. I remember where I was in the theater when I saw this. It was like when I saw The Kid, when, you know, my mom and my sister would go to a movie, and then I would go to the movies too, but I wanted to see something that I would like. So we'd find something at the same time, where they would go to one movie at 2 o'clock and I would go to like the 2:30 movie, and we'd get out at the same time, kind of a thing. I remember seeing this by myself in a little theater, and just the memories. I love this movie. That one needs a 4K. The Fugitive got a 4K. We need U.S. Marshals on a 4K. Tin Cup. This movie has not aged very well for me. I'll be completely honest. I rewatched it recently. I'm like, I remember it being so much better. But I'll definitely be upgrading this one of these days, but I am not in a rush. I love Rene Russo so much. But yeah, it just hasn't aged very well to me, sadly. Three to Tango. I talked about this recently. Just discovered this movie a few weeks ago, probably about a month or two ago. And this is basically a remake of For Love or Money with Michael J. Fox. Probably the best Neve Campbell has ever looked. She looks amazing in this movie, but For Love or Money is definitely a much better movie. Summer Catch. This needs a 4K. Doesn't even have a Blu-ray, but it needs a 4K. Love this movie. This is one of my absolute favorite summer movies, one of my favorite romantic comedies, one of my favorite baseball movies. Like this movie part inspired the next movie I'm going to be working on after I finish my current movie. It's going to be a summer kind of baseball movie in line with this. Love this movie. Like, it's so good. Rockstar. Rockstar is good. It's really good. The problem is Mark Wahlberg is not really in my favor right now. Like, I feel like he's just I get annoyed when I look at Mark Wahlberg now. Just, I don't know. I just overexposed, too many movies, too many bad movies, and I don't know. But he's got some good ones. And Rockstar and Jennifer Aniston, probably one of the closest we've seen to her like naked. And we don't see it, but it's a good movie. It's just Mark Wahlberg's kind of ruined himself for me. Passenger 57. Always Bet on Black. Love this movie. This movie's so fun. I got the VHS recently, like brand new for like $1, sealed, haven't opened it. I don't know if this has a Blu-ray. I'm pretty sure it does. But this is just a fun Wesley Snipes movie that is underrated. Last in the bunch, we got Most Wanted. God, I can't tell you the last time I've seen this movie. This has been a very long time since I've seen this movie. But Keenen Ivory Wayans, I love Keenen Ivory Wayans. I'm actually surprised he didn't direct this. He wrote this and is starring in it, but he didn't direct it, which is a little surprising. But great movie. John Voight as the bad guy, always good. Back to Wesley Snipes. Murder at 1600. This movie is so good. Does not have a Blu-ray. It's got a Spanish Blu-ray, I think, but it's bootleg. You know, it's not real. We need, like, skip Blu-ray. Bring this to 4K. This movie deserves it. Diane Lane. Huge crush on Diane Lane growing up. Huge. Major League 2. Major League 2, I would hope comes to 4K. I know it's on Blu-ray, but we just got Major League 1 last year on 4K, which I haven't grabbed yet. But this second one, I feel like needs it because we got the first one, and it wasn't on the rumored schedule for 2025. When did this come out? 94. Oh, this would have been great. 20 years this year. They missed it. But I don't think Warner Brothers really does they kind of do the anniversary things, but Interview with the Vampire. Tom Cruise as the bad guy in this, as Lestat. So good. And I can only think of like 2 movies he was ever like a bad guy in. This and Collateral. And he ate this up. Kristen Dunst, like, talent out the ass in this movie as a kid. Like, absolutely phenomenal. House on Haunted Hill. I love this original artwork. Absolutely love it. I think this does have a Shout Blu-ray, like a collector's edition, which is one of those, like, that's just overpriced. But it doesn't have this. Am I thinking of, is it House on Haunted Hill? I think it is House on Haunted Hill. I've always liked this because it's got the girl who played Sonya Blade. Is it Bridget Wilson? Always loved her in this, but yeah, I love this cover art. House of Wax. The original, this is 1956 or 53. This is in color too, which is kind of crazy for me. 1953 horror movie. I got this because it came in a double pack with my House of Wax, like the remake back in the day in 2004. I bought a double pack, which is funny because this came in a Snapcase, and the other one just came in a normal jewel case, which is kind of weird. But yeah, that's the only reason I own this movie is because it came in that case, which I'm really stoked. I always loved when movies came with like that extra movie. So House of Wax came with this, and what other one? You've Got Mail came with the original shop around the corner, which is really cool. Heist surprised me how good it was. This is written and directed by David Mamet. And David Mamet is, like, if you've heard of Aaron Sorkin, he's on that level. Like, he did a master class when Visa had their master. I think they still do their master class. But remember, I think during COVID, I watched his master class for writing. So good. He also wrote Glengarry Glen Ross. Like, that whole Alec Baldwin speech, that Always Be Clothing speech, was written by David Mamet. He is a writer. So good. This movie's really good. Heist, very high recommend. It's kind of slow, but it's interesting. That's all I'll say, is it's interesting. Criminal. We don't have this on Blu-ray. Grind. This one is just standard. Like, it doesn't even have like a widescreen format. It is just a standard format. So it's made to fit your TV. I think they do have an HD version on streaming, but we don't even have this on Blu-ray. Crazy. But Grind. Oh, this brings back so many memories. I probably saw this like 4 times in the theaters back in the day. When did this come out? 2003. Yeah, I was a sophomore, I think, in high school. Last on this list, it's kind of a big list, but Jackie Chan's First Strike. I think this a Police Story? Is this like Police Story 2 or something? First Strike, or is it just Jackie Chan's First Strike? I can't remember, but this and Rumble in the Bronx were like the 2 iconic Jackie Chan movies I grew up with. The ladder fight scene, absolutely iconic in this. This does have a Blu-ray. I have not upgraded it because this and Rumble in the Bronx, I know as soon as I do, it's gonna get something. 88 Films is releasing so much Jackie Chan stuff, so I'm like, 88 Films, please release First Strike and Rumble in the Bronx, please. But I'm gonna wait for that one. So that's my Snapcase DVD collection. Like I said, I really like this style of packaging. I know a lot of people don't. Some people do. I really like it. And I said a few, like, I'm upgrading, so I'm getting rid of these as I'm upgrading, but there's a few that I want to keep some special ones, the ones that I really like the artwork for, like the 2001, um, or The Exorcist, or like just things that really mean something to me. So I'm probably gonna keep a few and just always have them in the collection as kind of like a time capsule of physical media of when they did that kind of packaging. I do have another one coming up very soon, which is a universal style packaging, which is very unique, and they only did it with a much smaller amount of movies. So that's coming up really soon. But what's y'all's opinion on snap cases? Do y'all like snap cases? I know a lot of you don't because y'all have commented. Some people have like, ooh, snap cases. That's fucking ew. But I love snap cases. I think they're really cool. And the older I get and the more I really get into the collection and the packaging of collecting, the more I respect and admire snap cases. I think they were just like cool packaging thing, and I wish we had one for Blu-ray. I really do. I just think that would be cool, but maybe I'm alone. What do you guys think?